Oh ne, die Aufnahme war gerade weg. Hallo YouTube, willkommen zurück. Ich glaube, ich habe irgendwo aus Versehen Hotkey, mit dem ich Aufnahmen beende. Oh nein. Aber ja, im Grunde, wir sind gerade hingegangen, der Spiegel war weg. Ich weiß nicht, wo die Aufnahme beendet wurde. Egal. Der Spiegel war weg. Und wir sind voll skeptisch gewesen die ganze Zeit. Jetzt sind wir hier und sie meint, das ist ein ziemlich awkward. Wir haben die Klinge mitgenommen und dann am Ende gedroppt, als wir unten waren. Die Treppe war normal und super kurz und genau. Und sie meinte, ey, lass doch die Klinge fallen und dann reden wir miteinander. Und das haben wir jetzt gemacht und sie meinte, ey, ziemlich awkward start of a relationship. Und dann meinte ich, ja, das ist ziemlich awkward. Dann meinte sie, ja, habe ich doch gerade gesagt. Also warum willst du mich töten? Und dann meinte ich, mir wurden Sachen gesagt. Aber ich weiß nicht, wem ich glauben soll. Und da sind wir jetzt. Der Narrator sagt, believe me, also wir sollen ihm glauben.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here. That's just the dynamic of our situation.
Wie heißt du?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Das haben wir vorhin schon gesehen.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Wie lange bist du schon hier unten?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Jetzt chill doch mal, Narrator. Da draußen sind Leute, die sagen, du willst die Welt beenden. Was sagst du dazu?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Stimmt. Wenn sie so dangerous ist, warum hat sie die Welt nicht schon beendet, bevor sie eingesperrt wurde? Aber das Gesicht ist gruselig. Was machst du denn, wenn ich dich hier rauslasse?
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
Ja.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
Ja.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you
Stimmt.
either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear.
Wir machen Waisenheim auf.
But you don't really know me, do you?
Eben.
What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
Stimmt wohl.
So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
Wie würde ich dich denn hier rauskriegen?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Ich hol dich hier raus.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
So sahen sie
If
vorhin
you
auch aus.
don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Da war er nicht.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Ja. Wenn da kein Key ist, hast du dann irgendwelche andere Ideen? Also außer, dass ich dich da
That would be
rausschneide.
fine. I can lose an arm.
Wow.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to
Stimmt.
finally be free.
Stimmt wohl.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
So.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Doch.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to.
Wer ist das?
Easier for whom?
Eben.
Easier for everyone.
Nein.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
Aber warum da? Warum schneiden wir nicht einfach die Hand ab? Dann können wir es einfach rausziehen.
You
Den
cut
Arm.
into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Ich denke, es ist gerade wichtig, dass sie raus kann. Aber wenn ich mir nicht sicher bin, wie sie im Zeitalter von Prinzessin und Messern mit der Wunde überleben will.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
Aha! Also es ist doch der Narrator.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Warn her. Ja, dann warnen wir.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
Wir haben einen Entschluss gefasst und daran sticken wir.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
Ich meine, was sonst sollte sie tun?
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Weiß ich nicht. Ich erleb's nicht mehr.
You're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Die Welt ändert ziemlich oft heute. Okay, nö.
Don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth.
Ja,
There's got
definitiv.
to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess.
Ja,
We just have to. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
also. Für eine Sekunde lass uns mal so tun, als würde ich die Wahrheit sagen. Und alles das hier ist passiert. Warum sollte ich dir
Those are
zuhören?
two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Oh, vielleicht kannst du diesmal einen Schlüssel in der Hütte finden. Das ist eine gute Idee. Da muss ich suchen.
If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional. Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Ja,
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Gut, ich meine, wir wissen ja, dass es Different Worlds sind, wegen unserem ersten Ende, was wir aus Versehen gemacht hatten.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Warum sollte sie?
What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here.
Ah.
And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles.
Man muss das Messer auf den Tisch lassen, damit du dich damit nicht angreifen kannst. Das probiere ich nächstes Mal. Nach diesem Ende probiere ich das mal.
No, I'm talking in facts.
Lass uns mal über die reden. Über die Prinzessin.
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Ja, eben. Das ist eine Sache von Trust. Und ich truste dir nicht.
You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets. You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth."
Wie gut!
That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side.
Ja, es ist kein Beweis. Genau, Mila. Es ist einfach kein Beweis.
You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get.
Was hat sie in dieses
People locked her in that basement.
Basement
I told you
gesperrt?
what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Ja, stimmt. Warum konnten die sie nicht töten? Warum fällt das auf mich zurück?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person
Genau.
doing this. Call it a prof. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Das ist so Elternteil von einem speziellen Kind. Of course you're special.
Yes, right. We're here because we're special.
Special little snowflake. Genau. Ich mag den Skeptiker. Ja, ich auch. Er ist toll.
Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I'm here. But we're all in this together, and we're dealing with a bit of a ticking clock right now, so please just get to the cabin.
Du bist ein bisschen cagey. Warum sagst du es mir nicht
Told you
einfach?
everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Aber, hear me out. Wenn du die Möglichkeit hast, eine Situation komplizierter zu machen, heißt es nicht, dass sie einfacher ist, weil du kannst eine Situation nicht komplizierter machen. Du kannst nur mehr und mehr Fakten aufdecken, die die Kompliziertheit dieser Situation aufdecken. Das macht die Situation aber nicht weniger kompliziert, nur weil du weniger weißt. Vielleicht kannst du es einfacher entscheiden, aber die Situation an sich ist nicht leichter zu entscheiden und nicht unkomplizierter. Vielleicht will ich es ja komplizierter. Genau, vielleicht wollen wir es ja komplizierter.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to trust me here.
Nee. Nee, das machen wir nicht. Ja, das ist alles.
Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Genau. Ich liebe es, das ist... Ja. Oh, ich kann es auch mit Pfeiltasten machen. Ich glaube, es mache mit Pfeiltasten. Sollen wir jetzt leaven oder so? Ne, wir gehen zur Cabin, glaube ich, erstmal. Wir machen erstmal die Cabin, gucken, ob wir vielleicht einen Schlüssel finden. Und dann... Ich vertraue keinem von beiden, Princess und Narrator, aber immerhin will die Prinzessin nicht, dass wir jemanden töten. Ganz genau. Und ich meine, wir haben ja die Super Saiyajin-Form von der Prinzessin schon getroffen. Die hat uns wenigstens gezeigt, was sie will. Okay, ich glaube, wir gehen zur Cabin und nächstes Mal probieren wir mal zu leaven. Proceed.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Verständlicherweise würde ich auch.
Don't believe a word she says.
Wer nicht?
Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to.
Wink.
Did you just say wink out loud?
Ja.
No, I didn't. Wink.
Liebe ihn.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Nö.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Da ist der Spiegel wieder. Oh, schon wieder anders aussehen. Ja, irgendwie schon. Es sieht irgendwie jedes Mal anders aus. Wir sagen mal nichts über den Spiegel, wir gehen einfach direkt hin.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror.
Spiegel scheint immer beim zweiten Mal da zu sein.
Once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Ich frage mich, ob wir das irgendwann mal außerhalb vom ersten Ending, was wir hatten, schaffen können.
But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Es sieht anders aus als letztes Mal.
Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Maybe it's a different cabin entirely. Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Don't get distracted by minor details.
Minor Details. Du bist auch so ein Minor Detail. Wir nehmen nochmal die Klinge mit. Einfach, weil ich wissen will, was passiert, wenn wir es nochmal mitnehmen. Vielleicht gibt es einen Bonus, wenn wir es zweimal mitnehmen. Vielleicht ist sie auch wieder angekettet. Wir müssen sie wieder rausschneiden. Wer weiß.
Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
So würde ich es nicht sagen, aber ja. rein.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Weiß ich nicht.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
Weiß ich nicht. Lass uns es rausfinden.
You walk down the stairs
Oh.
and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you.
Hey, sie hat
Heavy
ihre Hand
collar
wieder.
around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
Aber wie schläft sie?
So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table.
Doch. Ja, geht diesmal nicht.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
Genau.
That was there last time too, wasn't it? It
Nein.
was.
Was?
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Ihr könnt jetzt einfach gehen. Aber ich sitz zu ihr.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable.
Ja,
We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
stimmt. Sidwell. Ja, wir setzen uns ein, wo es uns gesagt hat, wo wir uns hinsetzen.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Eigentlich wollte ich die wieder rausschneiden, aber...
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
Okay, schön.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion.
Nee.
The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Danke.
Now hold on, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals?
Ja.
You didn't have to talk in circles. I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic.
Ja.
I never said I wasn't.
Okay.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
Stimmt.
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't.
Genau. Da hast du vollkommen recht, Skeptiker.
But you won't get another word from me on the matter. Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Ja.
Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
Sorry, ich diskutiere gerade mit dem Narrator. Diese andere Kette da.
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
Okay, das ist süß.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Teil von mir will das jetzt machen. Sollen wir die Shackle exploren oder sollen wir erst fragen, was letztes Mal passiert ist? Ich weiß es nämlich nicht. Frag, was passiert ist? Okay.
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them.
Auch wenn wir wahrscheinlich keine richtige Antwort kriegen. Ich weiß nicht.
And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
Sicher.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
Okay, jetzt ziehe ich die, explore ich die
I
Shackle.
wouldn't do that if I were you. And why is that?
Lass mich einsperren, wenn ich das will.
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is? And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it? I don't know. Maybe it will. He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
Da hast du vollkommen recht, Skeptiker. Das ist der einzige Grund, den wir brauchen, um es zu investigaten.
But what if he's telling the truth?
Dann werden wir es rausfinden.
He isn't. I am. Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time. Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me?
Ja, excuse me?
Yes? Are we stuck here now? Yes.
Become your own jailer. Ich liebe es. Jetzt sitzen wir einfach neben ihr. Das ist cool.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Ja. We can't defeat him, join him.
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
Okay.
That's horrible.
Das geht.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information. Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch? No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Stimmt. Oh, was machen wir? Bleiben wir still oder fragen wir sie, ob sie wusste, dass das passieren wird? Ich liebe dieses Ende jetzt schon. Ohne Witz, das ist ein tolles Ende. Es macht mich glücklich. Frag Fragen zum Lernen von Dingen. Okay.
No.
Sie wusste es nicht. Okay. Also sind wir hier beide stuck.
Yep.
Sie ist ein bisschen genervt. Not one for small talk, geil.
Nope.
Ich liebe sie, sie ist toll. Diese deprimierte, genervte.
That's rude.
Na komm. Was machen wir? Es kommt einfach nichts. Okay. Wir warten in Silence.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring. There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing. But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
Ach, das passt schon.
But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it. How exactly does that work? It just does.
Ich bin nicht geharmt.
But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same. If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
Ja.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
Ja, aber das war eine ernst gemeinte Frage, ob das jetzt nur für mich so da ist oder ob für sie das auch ist. Wir warten weiter in
You continue
Silence.
to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls. That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
Stimmt.
She hasn't starved. I guess she hasn't. Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass.
Und die bewegt sich einfach null.
Until suddenly,
Jetzt hat sie
There are no
hochgeguckt.
walls. And then... And? I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
Stimmt.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns. Oh, dadurch, dass wir das Ende am Anfang hatten. Oh mein Gott! Auf das Anfangsende baut es jetzt alles auf. Wie gut!
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared. This is the end for you. But that's not the end for me. Oder? It's going to be okay, just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared. Oder? Approach the mirror. Also einfach nur hingehen. Okay. Okay, das ist super cool. Was machen wir? Das ist so ein Ding, so eine Story, die sich nebenbei abspielt. Wir helfen ihr gerade wirklich, ihre Leute zu holen. Das ist sick. Nummer 2? Okay.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Okay. Also, wir können sagen, it's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice. Oder? It's the end for you, but not for me. Oder? I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay. Das letzte fühlt sich ein bisschen so tröstend tot an, aber ich glaube, das ist schon das Ende für diesen Helden. Er wird sterben im Spiegel, aber wir als Spieler nicht. Genau. Aber wir als Spieler existieren ja in dieser Welt. Das haben wir herausgefunden, weil die Stimme des Helden hat schon mit uns als Spieler gesprochen und hat uns als You angesprochen. Also, ich glaube, es ist das Ende für
What
dich.
is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. No, that can't be right. There has to be something more.
Und es sind wieder wir. You've grown. Wir sind gewachsen. Wir sind wieder zurück.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before.
Sie sieht vor allem nicht mehr so zerstört aus. Warte, es liegt daran, dass das ist die, ja, okay, vergiss es.
Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Ich liebe diese Endszenen. Die sind so geil. Wirklich. Ich liebe die Atmosphäre. Es ist so gut.
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Es ist so amazing. Ja. Sie war freundlicher zu uns als jeder andere, den wir bisher getroffen haben. Warum?
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Guter Punkt. Ich kann immer noch den Entity attacken und meinen eigenen Body zerstören. Das geht jetzt wieder. How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective.
Ich glaube, wir werden dieses Spiel mehrmals durchspielen müssen. Einfach für die Endstory. Und um zu gucken, was wir da alles machen können und müssen. Ich denke, jetzt werden wir erstmal komplett helfen. Weil ich mag sie.
Rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
Ich will ihr auf jeden Fall helfen. Sie ist toll. Wirklich, das ist die freundlichste, die wir bisher getroffen haben. Ich mag sie.
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Wir können das gleiche Ende scheinbar nicht zweimal dann machen. Okay. Also wir kommen immer zu diesem Ende, glaube ich. Weil ich weiß nicht, wie es ist, wenn wir das nicht als erstes Ende machen. I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be. What do you feel about me? These vessels I've been bringing you, I've heard them.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them.
Stimmt.
My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
Das ist so cool. Okay. Sollen wir das ansprechen oder sollen wir einfach sagen, wir sind bereit wegzugehen? Weil ich weiß nicht, ob ich sie töten will am Ende. Ich denke, das jetzt anzusprechen, das wäre vielleicht ein awkward Start für unsere Relationships. Vor allem, sie mag uns. Wisst ihr was? Ich glaube, wir sagen einfach, ich würde weggehen. Ich weiß nicht, ob wir sie töten müssen. Genau! Mein Gedanke. Bin bereit zu gehen.
I long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.